So before I got this X-T4, I shot predominantly all film photography. And when this came out in 2020, I think it came out like April 2020, but I got it a little later in like May, like a month or two later. I had shot nothing but film before, and I was really big into like film photography, and I was kind of like a never digital again person. The film over megapixels, I was that like cliche person as a photographer, and I just loved everything about film. So when I decided to replace my Nikon D750 and get a digital camera, I kind of wanted something that checked all the boxes of a film camera. And what I landed on was this Fuji X-T4. I think it's absolutely gorgeous as a camera. It has all the dials that one could want. It has this flippy screen, which is amazing. Most of all, the most important thing it has is this thumb grip, this little button here. Oh my God, this nub is like a must-have in any camera I ever owned from now on. And this is the first mirrorless camera that I've owned that had these little accoutrements that my D750 didn't have. And over time, I've grown to absolutely love this camera. FujiFilm as a brand, the FujiFilm community, I think everything in that goes hand in hand to why I have had such a great experience with the X-T4. You know, and recently I picked up the Lumix S5 II, which I'm filming on now, and that is going to be the replacement for this camera. And I don't think that means that I'm done with Fujifilm completely. I think what it means is my next Fuji camera is going to be something smaller, like an X100V or an XE4, something like that, with a 27mm pancake lens, because I feel like this one's small, it's very compact, it's honestly not that big. You know, it's definitely smaller than the Lumix, but it's big enough to where I just can't fit it in a bag, you know, without putting a lens on it. So I went ahead and I sold my 35mm f1.4 lens, and I sold the 56mm f1.2 lens, and I kept the Sigma 18 to 50mm f2.8, and I'm gonna use that to record like a review of the S5. And once that's over, then I'll be selling this camera and moving on and looking to pick up something smaller. I would like to hold off because my hope is that Fuji will finally make a new X Pro camera, and that would be pretty awesome. I think that's like kind of perfectly what I'm looking for, because I think that the Lumix does everything that this does, maybe a little bit better. And the reason I didn't get an X-T5, you know, like for my next body, is it didn't have the flippy screen. And for me, that's kind of a deal breaker now that I'm doing like more video and YouTube stuff. So that's why I didn't do that, didn't get that one. Honestly, before starting this YouTube channel, I never really opened the back of this up. I just kind of kept it closed like this and never really looked at it, and kind of shot it more like a film camera, where I waited to see my results when I got home. And that led to some bad pictures, but it also makes it a lot of fun creatively. But yeah, so I think it's time to say goodbye to this. And I just kind of wanted to talk about the camera a little bit, share some photos that I shared. Those are some of my favorites. And you know, when you're looking for your next camera and things like that, you know, a lot of people say, well, you got to go full frame and things like that. I just shot Virginia's travel guide for Virginia's is for Lovers. Me and my wife, we went to Cape Charles, we went to Stanton, we went to Alexandria, and I took pictures for their magazine, and I wrote, you know, an article for it. And I think one of the pictures is going to end up being on like the cover of Virginia's travel guide next year. And I did all that with this camera. And for anybody thinking that, you know, APS-C isn't big enough, it's totally big enough for professional work, in my opinion. Unless you're like blowing something up crazy or something like that. I mean, this handled that perfectly, and while you do it, it's a lot of fun. So, you know, the obvious question I've gotten is like, why even sell it or anything like that? And again, I think it's just too big to be a replacement for something that I'm looking for. And what I'm looking for is something smaller. And, you know, the Lumix so far, I've had it for a month, and the video has been amazing. The image quality is great. It lacks some of the fun factor. And one thing that I really took for granted with Fujifilm is the community. And that sounds so lame saying that, but it's absolutely the truth. If you go on Reddit and you look at the Fujifilm subreddit and then you look at the Lumix subreddit, the Lumix one's kind of boring. And anybody that wants to talk about Lumix cameras, or if you need help with anything, it's always video. All these people want to talk about is video. And I get it. It's a great video camera. I've been having a blast with it, using it as that. And I think it does an excellent job. And it has all those, like, you know, accoutrements that you would want in a video camera, like open gate, 6K open gate, and like 4K, and like blah, 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 all the stats and things like that. But when you go to talk to somebody about pictures, they're just like, seems like it's non-existent. And, you know, that's the difference, I think, in like with the Fujifilm. It's kind of like the nice mix between, kind of like, I think, well, a lot of film photographers kind of switch to Fujifilm. So you get the same kind of aesthetics, the same kind of like we're a community type thing and all that. And that's something that is sorely missing in some of the other things. I mean, Leica has it, but people mostly take pictures of their Leicas and not pictures with their Leicas. That's a joke. Don't come for me in the comments, but this kind of like the ongoing joke in Reddit. But you know, all the communities have different kind of styles and flavors. Like the Sony people are this way, the Fuji people are this way, and I like the Fuji people. I was doing something called Fuji Friend Fridays on Twitter, and it was awesome because of how many people there are. So you know, looking to get rid of this, not looking to get rid of Fujifilm, and you know, just wanted to share some quick thoughts and some, you know, about my experience with it. It's been great. But it's time to say goodbye and move on to the next thing. If you have any questions about this, I've had it for, you know, since 2020. I've had it for 3 years now. Taken, whoever knows how many photos on this thing I've taken. But I've done some professional work. I've done some personal work. You know, too long, didn't read, still totally worth it. The X-T4 is still worth it, honestly. You know, I think people are always looking for the next biggest and best thing. And these old Fuji cameras, they still hold up well. I mean, people swear by the old original X100 just because of the way the sensor looks like film and stuff with like the grain it has in the photos at higher ISOs. It has that film quality. But yeah, so don't rush out and get the newest thing. I say that as a hypocrite who just went out and bought like the latest thing for myself. But honestly, these cameras are great. Community's great. Everything about it's pretty great. Sound like a real hypocrite now that I'm getting rid of it. But if you have any questions about it, let me know. Funny enough, my handle on Instagram is Fuji Hunter. So I've been getting a lot of jokes about that. Switching my handle to Lumix Hunter now or something like that. They're pretty funny, but there's a lot of them. So if you have any questions though, feel free to hit me up. My friend Reggie, he does all kinds of videos on the like Fuji stuff and things like that. He's like a wealth of knowledge on his YouTube channel. If you ever have any kind of Fuji kind of questions, or you clicked on this video because it's a Fuji thing, you know, I hope you all had a good holiday thing. I already got my tree up. It's the week after Thanksgiving. But that's it. So this has been my little goodbye, kind of appreciation, you know, talking head video of one of my favorite cameras, the X-T4. So hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Only if you liked it. You know, I got a microphone. This is kind of like the part of the video where everybody just leaves, so I just say whatever I want to say. But I got a new microphone, the Sennheiser MKE 400. Hopefully this sounds pretty good. I can use both my hands now. Filming with this is the 35mm lens. Really love it. The eye tracking is crazy. Does such a good job of like tracking. Boom. And that's pretty good, I guess. So yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate you. Share this video, you know, watch it on the big TV with your mom. That's what I do. My mom likes my videos, but she thinks I'm handsome, which is kind of a lot. But yeah, see you later. Bye.